看招！
Yo, Dean, cool dude with chainsaw weapon and cool animation. Chainsaw, despite this being a melee weapon, doesn't work like other melee weapons when it does one big damage. Chainsaw delivers multiple hits to one part, and if that part gets over damage, transfer that damage to random part. This means Dean favors ignoring armor that increase damage, similar to Frida or other raiders. Dean is very specific type of DPS. He scales with the stacks, destroy parts over time, ignore armor at the high investments, and has a unique targeting priority. Lowest max HP, usually arms. Dean with fully stack, heavy ST and passive can be hard to destroy. But we have a good honk that can aim the body. Asuka is coming in January, and even she has a line AoE like Shawnee. Here is a catch with the Dean. One skill, targeting the part with the lowest max HP. So, with this skill, he will always target arms first, since arms usually have the lowest max HP on most enemies. This makes Dean excellent for disable enemies by removing their offensive part early, but it's only good for stages where speed clearing isn't required. His second strongest skill targets the part with the lowest current HP percentage. If all parts are still at 100%, it will behave as a random targeting. So, if one part has taken damage and it's the lowest, you can force the skill to hit that part. For example, if the body has the lowest current HP percentage, the skill will guarantee a body hit. What about Dean's movement? On release 3+4, after getting the rainbow backpack 4+5, this is insanely good for heavy pilot. Most heavies struggle to position, or Dean can chase reposition better than his class normally allows. And what about Dean's signature weapon? Yes, unfortunately, it appears late, Arm Conquest number 9. Add additional stacks. For Dean, stacking takes time, but once fully stacked, his damage and damage taken boost more, and help Dean with AP regeneration. I have to say, cool animation. Great mobility for heavy type, good for mobs when turns, doesn't matter for clearing the stage, can be tanky. And cons, the AP cost is heavy for attacks that don't guarantee body shots, because his main attacks cost 3 or 4 AP. So lacking AP until he gets signature weapon. Dean needs a couple of turns to hit up before reaching peak performance. So Dean isn't the best pilot for turn 1. And big downside: no direct aim body skills. Let me know your thoughts about Dean. This is just me, I'm not pulling Dean, since they are better non-meta pilots that I'm saving and want to pull. Tiphys, first real guardian for both PvP and PvE. He isn't absolutely mandatory if you are not into PvP, but he's still a great pilot to have, and I would definitely pull him on release. He can apply unique terrain domain. He places special type of terrain that overrides enemy terrain. This is completely new mechanic and honestly very cool one. Bosses and enemies cannot override his terrain. Future new terrain types can also be cleansed and replaced by his domain. It doesn't work on fog, but since fog isn't considered a terrain that's expected, and small downside. He counters the current PvP meta. If you are wondering why Tiphys exists, it's basically to shut down Frida and other Rush-style pilots. He hard counter Frida and Eileen, who currently dominate PvP. Tiphys become powerful when you invest in him. Thanks to his talent, he can generate special domain that boosts your pilots and even helps keep your teammates alive. Here is the best part and reason why I like him so much. He can activate magnetic field that slow every enemy who enter his domain and disable their jetpack. Remember that stage? I thought, oh, perfect, I can stop this guy so he won't trigger that huge Tonatuch and I may finally get S rank during this run. But nope, he just flew straight over me because I didn't notice he still has his jetpack active. Now with Tiphys, once you activate magnetic field, slow down enemies and disable jetpack. So OP for PvP, but it's also very useful gimmick for PvE. There is even more. Not long ago, Tiphys also get his signature weapon, and of course its shield. And it's very amazing. Not even he can slow down enemies. Thanks to his signature weapon, he can now boost your teammates and you can move more tiles when crossing your domain. Also, additional boost damage and don't get one tap, which is important in PvP. The only biggest downside is from Armed Conquest number 13, so that's very long time. Still, he is very nice pick early in the game. If you like PvP, then no question asked. Pros and cons: crowd control, grounding enemies, special domain that cleans and replace enemy terrain, magnetic field, anti-mobility god, slow enemies, shut down jetpacks and basically tell high mobility pilots, nope, that alone is a huge in PvP. Team support aura, bonus damage and reduced damage taken. Good for PvP and PvE. The downside: no melee guard, need Ray from Eve collab. Don't expect damage from Tiphys, he is a guardian. For the gimmick and aura. Early game verdict: excellent early pick. If you enjoy PvP, he is no-brainer. And even for PvE enjoyers, the soft CC, crowd control and utility already make him strong investments. And the good news, for his gimmick he only need A0.
下次不会了。请赐予我战无不胜的力量。
Fia, the new railgun pilot, shouldn't be compared directly to Xiaoni in terms of raw power, because they fill different roles. Xiaoni, pure damage, Fia, the buff utility. Fia is on my non-meta but worth considering list, because her gameplay is so fun that I'm thinking about maxing her anyway. She might not be the strongest on release, and that's confirmed, but once she gets her signature weapon, she becomes very powerful. Her talent introduces new gimmick for railguns. You can extend the shooting range, you can deflect the shoot path. I found her very fun and cool to play. The good news, we don't need to invest heavily in duplicates for Fia. Her A3 only increases the railgun magazine. And thanks to the Pascal body, she has unlimited ammo, so more copies don't provide much additional value. And you can save pull for ST, because Pascal ends up being one of her best ST. However, she does require at least 3 bionic oils, similar to Xiaomi. How is Fia performance on release? One skill is silence debuff. Second skill, 2 random debuffs. Unlike Xiaomi, she cannot aim body part, so she isn't recommended for fast clears. Silence skill, however, is very useful. Early on, it's strong in PvP. It has niche use in PvE, especially versus elite rocket units, since after we silence enemies, they cannot cast rocket skills. Still, none of this is enough to place Fia high on the tier list, at least on release. Once Fia receives signature weapon, she goes from low tier to one of the strongest Tactitian pilots, not because of the damage, but due to her unique control effects. After signature weapon, Fia gains the ability to apply +5 debuff constantly, access to special control debuff, similar to Gumushai, unable to move effect, which disable enemy mobility. This effect works on bosses, not all but most, which is huge. This single mechanic makes her one of the most powerful tactician controllers in the game once her signature weapon is unlocked. We can craft this weapon from Arm Conquest number 10. Future-proof pilot, unique railgun mechanic, and cool gameplay. Strong early PvP and excellent in Arm Conquest once the signature weapon is unlocked. Cons: underwhelming on release. Low base damage. Don't expect big damage from Fia. Yo, let me know your thoughts for 3 upcoming pilots before Asuka. If you skip them all, it's fine. If you could pull only one, I would choose Tiphys. If 2, then Tiphys and Fia. But Fia can wait for her signature weapon, although she has very unique gameplay, and my plan is to pull both Tiphys and Fia A0. We can decide later if you want more copies. Hope this helps you decide your pulls, if upcoming pilots are worth to pull for you before Asuka. If you are not sure about the pilots, of course it's the best way for the guides, and next one will be Dean. Thank you guys for watching, I'll see you on the next one, bye bye!